before I actually change the oil, I want to check the oil level. So it's kind of an involved process. Start with the bike cold and then let it run for 6 minutes, but don't apply any throttle. Place the motorcycle level on ground on the side stand. Start the engine and allow it to idle for 6 minutes. When the engine is idling, do not open the throttle grip to increase the engine speed. Stop the engine and wait 3 minutes. Remove the oil filler cap. The engine oil dipstick comes out together with the filler cap. Wipe the dipstick clean, holding the motorcycle vertical. Reinsert the dipstick until the threads touch the filler cap, but do not screw it back in. I've got 591 point something miles on the bike. I want to do the oil change today, but first we're going to check the oil level. That process is described on page 3-19 of the owner's manual. Such a waste of fuel. I set a timer on my phone for 6 minutes. Here's a larger view of the page of the owner's manual. So on the DR-Z400, as well as the DR-Z4S, and even the DR-350, which came out long before the DR-Z400, most of the oil was contained in the frame, like is shown here. So unlike most motorcycle engines where you have a big oil pan at the bottom of the engine and the oil just recirculates from the oil pan around the engine, drains back in, a lot of the oil is contained in the frame. It's basically a reservoir. It also kind of acts as a method of cooling the oil a little bit too. So what we have to do, because the engine, when it's not running, a lot of the oil drains back out, and you can't get an accurate level of the oil reading unless a certain percentage of the oil is up here. So the process, like I had described earlier, it's let the engine run for 6 minutes, turn it off, let it sit for 3 minutes, and then pull the oil cap. So if I flip this diagram over here, we can see the oil cap is the dipstick, number 2 is the upper level, number 4 is the middle, and then number 3 is the lower level. So if the oil level is above the F number 2 mark or below the L, then we need to either drain oil or add oil, just depending on where the oil level is at on that dipstick. So it's pretty important to start the engine when it's cold, let it run for 6 minutes, shut it off, let it sit for 3 minutes before checking the oil. So when we pull the dipstick out and check the oil, it's right here, right in forward of the fuel tank, right at the middle. On the DR-Z400, it was over off to one side. So I usually stand on one side of the bike or the other, and then lean the bike level so it's up against my leg like here, and then pull out the dipstick and check the oil level. And I usually check it about 2 or 3 times before I'm satisfied with the fact that it is actually giving me a relatively accurate reading.